Plaintiff Shanice Williams says her nephew is friends with the defendant's son. And they're in court today because the defendant's son refused to return her iPod. Defendants Melody Peters and her son Kenneth Brown say Kenneth is an honor roll student, so Melody has no reason to believe that he's lying about Shanice's iPod. Melody insists the only iPod Kenneth ever had possession of was returned to Shanice, and they're countersuing for defamation.
Start with you, ma'am.
Okay. I brought here today my mother, Diane, and my nephew, Vondell. Vondell and Kenneth were schoolmates and I believe friends. I didn't meet Kenneth prior to this incident. So what occurred Thursday, May 19th, I left my iPod in my mother's vehicle. And on that same day, they had a graduation ceremony. Vondell and Kenneth graduated 8th grade.
May of what year?
2011. So I left my iPod in my mother's car, and then my mother dropped Vondell and Kenneth off to another friend's house who lives down the street from us. Kenneth left his sweatshirt or hoodie in her car. And then what occurred was the next day on Friday, Vondell returned Kenneth's sweatshirt and what he believed to be Kenneth's iPod. Vondell didn't know that I had lost my iPod until Friday, the next day.
That is not true, Your Honor.
How do you know what her nephew knows?
I know that her nephew knew that was not Kenneth's iPod because he had it. He had the iPod at school. He was listening to it.
Come on up, we'll see what he knows. Do you know what your aunt says you know, or do you know what she says you know?
I know my aunt said I know.
All right. You have a seat. All right,
So,
go ahead.
according to what Vondell told me, he returned the iPod. He asked Kenneth if it was his, and Kenneth said it was his. He said Kenneth hesitated before he answered, and he said it was his. So then on Friday afternoon, when Vondell got home, we told him that I had lost my iPod. We couldn't find it. We had been looking through the car and everything. And Vondell said that he gave iPod to Kenneth. He also said that the Backstreet Boys was on there. And me being an African-American woman, not a lot of African-Americans listen to them. So that was one thing that kind of stuck out to us. And so that evening, Vondell and my mother went over to Kenneth's house to retrieve the iPod. He wasn't there. And then his sister had given Vondell the iPod the next day.
Okay, so you got the iPod back.
I got an iPod back, not mine. This is the iPod that was given back to me.
You received a different one.
Right.
Okay. Ma'am?
Your Honor, I don't have no reason to believe that my son did anything with that iPod due to the fact that I raised him to be a nice, honest child. He have no reason to lie about the iPod. Now, Vondell, on the other hand, I don't know what his case may be, but Kenneth has proved to me to be a nice kid. He do what he's supposed to do.
Good
he's
grades,
on the honor roll. I have his report card to prove it when he was 9 years old, Your Honor.
See your report card.
All right. Your Honor, when he was 9 years old, he got his first job at the baseball stadium cleaning up. Kenneth always helps out the neighbors. Also, Kenneth is
Urban Prep. That's a good school here in Chicago. Gets all A's and B's.
Kenneth also, Your Honor, is studying to be a plastic surgeon. Over the summer, he have been accepted to go to the University of Wisconsin for the summer program because he would like to be a plastic surgeon, as I said. Basically, I know a little bit about Vondell because his grandmother actually came to my house before this incident to let me know a little bit about Vondell. His grandmother told me that she has problems with Vondell in the household and stuff has been missing, in the household. So she didn't understand why would her daughter be suing me, She came and told me this herself, his grandmother, that he's a foster child and he has problems,
Let me ask you this, though, and congratulations on your son.
Yes, sir.
Seems as if you've done a great job. You're a single mother?
Yes, sir.
That even says a lot more for you. What do you know anything about this iPod?
He did have the iPod. And I said, where did you get this from? He told me it was Vondell iPod. He said Vondell said he can see the iPod, Your Honor. And so I said, okay, Kenneth, you make sure you get that back to Vondell. So that Monday he gave back to Vondell. Me, volunteering in the lunchroom, I asked Vondell, did he get the iPod back? He told me yes.
Did you give it to your sister to give back?
No.
You gave it back directly to him?
I was with him.
Your Honor.
I was with him.
Come on, ma'am, stand up. You were with?
I was with Vondell when we got the iPod back.
From whom?
From her or his sister.
Right.
Because he was not at home when we actually got it.
I don't believe this woman is lying on you, young man.
Not only that,
And also,
It's not a real big difference. So
Right.
why is somebody lying over something that's not a big
Right, the
difference,
sister
whether you
gave
gave it
the
back or
iPod
the
back.
sister gave
Not
it
only
back?
that, right.
Unless somebody's trying to rationalize why you received one different than the one that he had. How do you know what her nephew knows?
I know that her nephew knew that was not Kenneth's iPod because he had it. He had the iPod at school. He was listening
Come
to
on
it.
up, we'll see what he knows. Do you know what your aunt says you know, or do you know what she says you know?
I know my aunt said I know.
Defendants Melody Peters and her son Kenneth Brown are being sued because the plaintiff claims Kenneth took possession of her iPod and refuses to return it.
The issue is, did he return the same one?
No.
Right,
I have an iPod here. It has a serial number, and I also have my original receipt, if you'd like to see it. The receipt that shows
Let's see it.
the serial numbers and everything else. And
that's the iPod
that he
you
returned.
received.
Yes, that's not mine. Mine had 160 megabytes on it, and that one has 30 on it. I also had mine engraved.
She did receive the wrong one back. This is different,
And then
a serial number and the engraving, and I'm looking at the purchase order.
I didn't think it was going to be a big issue. So when he told me Vondell let him borrow it, all I said was just give it back to him. And he
The
did on
problem
Monday
is,
when he
ma'am,
saw it.
the negligence is on him because he had a duty to deliver that which he had mistakenly taken, the same one in the same condition, and he didn't. He gave her back a different one. So I don't know what happened in between the time he mistakenly received it and then the time he
She needs
returned
to
a
ask
different
Vondell
one.
what did he do with it? Because Vondell knows.
but I had my iPod for a whole entire year. Why would Vondell suddenly decide to steal my iPod?
You said
although
that,
it's been in the house.
but you told us that you never knew it was missing out your house. So that means he took it out
What's
the
your
house, put it in your grandmother's
267?
house.
Your
iPod.
defamation claim for $267 is for what?
It's for her saying that my son switched her iPod out. My son didn't switch that iPod. That is what Vondell. Well, I can't really see that one, but it kind of looked like the one that he had, but it had a black
Does it
case
still
on top
work
of
and
it.
everything?
Yes, it still works.
It had like a black cover over it at the
doesn't
time.
really hold. I still
Well,
have
then
the
it's
black
still
cover. This
hers
is something
then.
that I personally purchased
and
myself. She also returned the headphones
Let's
that were
see
not
all
in the
that. Let
same
me see all that.
condition because iPod issues white headphones. These were headphones that I
Okay.
purchased on my own, and it had a little rubber piece protector.
Okay, well,
on
if
top
she
of the
pays you
headphones and
today,
everything
then
else.
this is hers.
I mean, she can have.
All right, and ma'am,
I'm not concerned
would
about
you?
that.
Can I buy this off of you if she paid for it?
Sure can,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
we'll settle that. Then I'll pay her the $267. You're ordered to pay her the $267. So nobody loses, all right? This is mine. Congratulations, young man. Continue your good work. And young man, you do the same. If you go to urban prep, you must do a great job in school also.
He
goes to
attends
Hales.
House Franciscan.
All right, but I'm sure he does well, right?
Yes.
Yes,
All
he
right,
does.
good.
He's on the honor roll as
problems,
well.
but-
He's on honor
You know,
roll as
yes,
well.
he
Good.
is.
Keep up the good work. All right. Hope these have some good songs on it.
I guess so.
All
Nothing
right.
that I
You know, you've been
listen to.
listening. You've been doing something with
I've
it.
been charging it. I've
All
been
right.
charging it so that it
They
works.
don't have any porno on it, does it? I don't
Not tonight. Ask Kenneth. Maybe he knows.
That's no porno. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed. We're all set.
Thank you.
you.
All right. I just want to say that I am thankful that they got what they wanted, you know, and I wish that the truth would have came out and the honesty of Vondell taking
I
this
thought we wasn't talking
iPod.
about the
But I'm
case.
blessed that everything turned out in their favor and everybody's happy. So God bless.
And all I gotta say was, what's up?
Y'all want to shake
both
hands?
of them?
All right.